Okay, everyone. So now we are learning the evolution of ADO.NET. ADO stands for ActiveX Data Object. We know that in the .NET we use ADO.NET for database connectivity, which provides the disconnected architecture. Let us suppose that we are having some .NET application or some project which we have designed, and we have designed some database in SQL, Oracle, or MS Access. Now, to connect them, we need a connection, which is connecting the application and the database. With the help of this connection from the database, all the tables can be accessed in the .NET application or project. The most popular data connection we are having today is ADO.NET. But before that, there were so many. So first of all, we are going with the first connection, that is the DAO, which is called Data Access Object. DAO was the first model for the connectivity. DAO was designed for VB and Jet Engine databases. So with the help of DAO, we can connect with the Visual Basic or the Jet Engine databases in our project. But there was a problem in DAO, that its performance was not good. Then afterward, we are having the next type of connectivity or the connection, that is RDO. RDO stands for Remote Data Object. As the name signifies remote data object, that means if your database is remotely present, that means it is not locally on your system. For that, we need this RDO. Let's assume that you have designed the application on your system. So we can say that your system is the client, and you have designed your database somewhere which is far away from your system, and we are saying that that is the server. So for the client server connectivity, means whenever your database is not present on your system, it is somewhere far, remotely present. For that, we use this RDO, remote data object. So this RDO is used to connect the remote databases like Oracle, SQL Server. So this is designed basically for connecting the remote databases, Oracle and SQL Server. Now, if we talk about the problems with RDO, then it is not as efficient as the ADO.NET. Then after that, we are having next type of connection, which is ADO, that is ActiveX Data Object. ADO, which is ActiveX Data Object, is different from ADO.NET. ADO is just the previous before ADO.NET. This ADO is designed for client server architecture. Means whenever your database is present remotely, then it is dealing with that. So wherever the client server is there, ADO deals with that. The good thing about ADO is that it can connect with both relational as well as non-relational databases. We know that whenever in the database we are having tables, just like rows and column, that is called relational database. And if any other database is present, that is called non-relational database. So here it can connect with both relational as well as non-relational databases. Now we are learning the problems with ADO. The major problem with the ADO is that it is supporting connected architecture. Let us suppose that we are having a .NET application and we are connecting with the database using the ADO connection. Now, this connection should remain through all the time. That means if inside the application we are writing something, let's say if there is some kind of Excel file we are creating and this Excel file is going on the server. Now, if I am entering few records, now connection should be there. If I am entering the second record, connection should be there. So through all time, we want the connection in ADO. If let's suppose connection is not present, then record we are going to add will be lost. So connection should be required all the time. So this is supporting connected architecture. Means you cannot break the connection between application and database, but practically that is not possible because sometimes there can be internet issue if we are working with client server model, or there can be the cost involved to provide throughout connectivity there is huge cost. So the cost and practicality is the problem in the connected architecture, because let us suppose we are writing on some file and the application, and in between internet goes, maybe some connectivity problem, then database will not be updated, connection will be lost. So this connected architecture leads to security, performance and network issues. In the connected architecture, we need the connection to access the data every time. And if let us suppose that connection is always present, then in that case, there is the problem of security, because somebody even can break this connection, or there can be some unauthorized access on this connection if it is available throughout. And even the performance will not be good, because if in meanwhile there is some kind of connection problem, then data will not be saved, so performance is not good. And even network issues, sometime the network is not proper, internet is not proper, so connection is not created. So such type of issues comes into the ADO. So to remove all the problems of all the connectivities, there is an answer, which is ADO.NET. So now we are learning the next connection type, which is ADO.NET. ADO stands for ActiveX Data Object as per the previous, but the previous ADO is now merged with the .NET. So with the .NET support, ADO is becoming ADO.NET, which is more powerful. And the best thing about ADO.NET is that it supports disconnected architecture. Let us suppose that we have created a .NET application and we are having the database. Now first time we are creating the connection, then afterward inside the application, one small database is created. And this database is called the dataset. Now here understand that here our application is connected with the database, but through the dataset. Here the connection is coming to the dataset now, and our application which we are making is having the connection with the dataset. It is not having the direct connection with the database. So now what is going to happen? First time when the connection was created, then dataset was created, and with our application we are dealing with the data. Now in the disconnected architecture, connection is not required all the time. Let us suppose that now connection is not present. Then our application is going to update the data into the dataset, because they are connected, and this database is at the client side. So on the client side we are having the small database called dataset, who is going to update all the time. And if I am writing something where even connection is not there, that will also be updated to the dataset. And whenever the connection comes, then whatever the record are there into dataset, they will be updated to the main database. So this is how the connection is not required throughout the time. This is called disconnected architecture, which we are achieving with the help of ADO.NET. So this ADO.NET is going to eliminate the problem found with the previous all models. This ADO.NET is widely used for the connectivity. So if we are using the ADO.NET for the connectivity, then number one, it is supporting disconnected architecture. Means if the connection goes, even database is secure, we can save the data, no problem. It is eliminating all the problems which was there with the previous models. And also for all the connectivity types, we can use the ADO.NET. Now we are learning the features of ADO.NET. The first feature is disconnected architecture. We know that in the disconnected architecture, connection is not required all the time. So here, connection is established when it is required. We are not going to use the database continuously, because connection can be breaked in disconnected architecture. So here we are avoiding wastage of resource, and we know that database is a resource, and also to maintaining a connection we need some kind of cost, so that we are avoiding wastage of resources. With the help of this disconnected architecture, we are also improving the performance. The reason for improving the performance is that even if the connection is not there, still our data is not lost. It is safe. Now we are discussing the next feature of ADO.NET, that is scalability. As here we are using the disconnected architecture, so here we can work with the data set even without connecting with the database. It provides the scalability. So with the help of ADO.NET, we can meet with the increasing demands of database users. The next feature of ADO.NET is interoperability. In the ADO.NET, for the connectivity, there is a single standard, which is the XML. And this XML is the standard format for exchanging the data with all the different applications. Here in the ADO.NET, XML is used, and this XML is the standard format. As this XML is standard format, because of that, we can connect with any type of application. So it makes interoperable. Means from one application to another application, we can have the connectivity from database. Interoperable means one thing can be operable into other. So because of a standard format XML, ADO.NET is interoperable. There are some other features of ADO.NET. As the connection is not required always, that's why it is increasing the safety of code, as well as it reduces the compiler errors. ADO.NET is not connecting even with one database. Here we can have multiple databases, and these multiple databases can be different. Different means heterogeneous. So with the help of ADO.NET, we have the integration of data from multiple heterogeneous data sources. Because of the disconnected architecture, ADO.NET have achieved all these features and advantages. So that is all about the evolution of ADO.NET.